Hello, Star Family. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful live event. We're doing the streaming a bit differently. I'm using a different platform for it. Ultra curious how it's going to end up being in the end. Thank you for so many of you joining already. And yeah, like in this event, I want to conduct things a bit differently. So we have the general theme for today, which by the way was recommended by one of you like 2 weeks ago, as like how to alter your reality, how to shift your timeline in a conscious way, or as many people tend to talk about it, like how to exit the matrix, or how to create a matrix that you actually desire to be in, rather than just going with what everyone else is doing and having a not such a fun time here on planet Earth. Okay. And in general, I want my guides to bring through the information on this. I usually take like hints from them, but so far I was trying to compile information mostly on my own and add my own opinion experiences to all of this. And now I try to do a collaboration when I let them speak more or bring through information much more than they used to, without me actually going into a deeper trance state. So I'm super curious how will that work out. So thank you for tuning in to this grand experiment. Hello, Jenny. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I've seen your question, Jenny, and I will address it in text, but I didn't want to do it in a audio format, so I will tune into that later. Okay, so the topic for today is how to manifest your desired reality and how to exit the matrix, how to create the reality that you actually want to live in. And basically the first step in the process of transmutation, we can go from the perspective of the transmutation, because here on planet Earth there are many undesired circumstances, many undesired situations, relationships, you name it, also societies, organizations. Basically, what we have done so far has deemed to be very undesirable here on planet Earth, and we have came into this reality to bring a wind of change, to bring a lighter energy that will be able to transmute that which has been here and has been repeated over and over and over for thousands upon years. And basically all of these dysfunctional karmic patterns have been passed down from generation to generation, culminating in a few world wars and devastating events throughout Earth's history, which I believe most of you are aware of. And basically we have seen what has been going on here on planet Earth, and all these beings who have been stuck on the karmic loop here on planet Earth were not able to get out of this karmic loop. And so many groups, ET groups in general, or higher beings, have seen that, okay, like these Earth kids won't be able to solve this crap on their own. And basically they need some help in dealing with this, because this is not going to work out in the long run. So there were like different plans put into motion of how they can like come in and assist Earth without actually like rewriting stuff and interfering. Because just like in Star Trek, they have the prime directive of like not interfering with developing civilizations, which not all parties have been, I mean, not agreeing upon, but they were not respected, because we have been interfered quite a bit in the past few thousands of years, if you've done some research on it. So basically, but the higher beings who are here to assist us do not want to break the law, because they are law itself. They are the embodiment of cosmic law. So the only way to do this in a professional and well-mannered way is to actually come here and be born as a human, to go through all the crap and all the dysfunctional patterns that are here on planet Earth, and basically by living it, basically by embodying it yourself, you have the opportunity and the right to transform it, because you have went through it, you made it your own. You've made that, you took that energy inside of yourself and made it of your own, basically. And that is why many of us have been scattered all across the world. And many healers, especially like the super hardcore healers or energy warriors or true fighters, I don't know how you want to name yourselves, have been born into most difficult life circumstances and like dysfunctional families, especially, and have been going through quite some trauma during their life before they actually realize that, hey, like, I'm here to heal that. Like, I'm not here to be the victim of the circumstances, or I'm not here to be the victim of my family. I'm actually here to heal that whole situation. And the only way of doing that is by first going through it and making it your own, which I believe is the most uncomfortable and undesired part of the job, sadly. But yeah, like most of us have gone through that to a lesser or greater degree. But yeah, like that's part of the whole deal, sadly. And some of us have been here not just for this lifetime, although there are many new souls who are coming in since the baby boomers, since the 50s, 60s. Earth has experienced like a huge burst in population. Of course, this is in part of living conditions changing on the world, but also because we're entering in a phase where we are leaving behind, when we are basically closing off a chapter in the book of Earth's history. And before we go to the next chapter, many things need to be cleared up. So beings and humans, whatever, who have been stuck here for God knows how long, had to come in to figure this out and actually try to resolve the unresolved issues that have been regurgitated for thousands of years. So in part, that is also why so many beings are present and alive at this time. Yeah, I just right now came in the idea that I think it's in the Bible. I know like Christians believe that like in the end times, like all souls will be like judged or something, or like everyone will be born again. I'm sorry if I don't remember that correctly. And I guess like this could be like a part of that prophecy of like all the souls who have been living here so far on Earth have come back to resolve their issues and to heal through all the things that they have repeated throughout history. And now is the time to do that, basically. And also then we're going to enter a phase of when Earth souls will be leaving because they have resolved their issues. Also, if some of you have been following along and like being attentive of like news here and there or alternative news, that some people, not some people, but a portion of the population is leaving Earth one way or the other. Now, this is not necessarily because the same cause, like it's not the same cause. I've also observed and listened and heard from quite a few people in our surroundings that people maybe commit suicide, or they have an sudden accident and you just suddenly check out from one day to the other. And it's because one, they have maybe finished what they've been doing here, or the other is that they no longer wish to participate in this whole process of letting go the dysfunctional patterns and hopefully reaching a healed state and moving forward to a higher vibrational state. Okay, so Jacaranda Marie, so true, just had a vision 2 days ago of being a piece of the grit in the shell, and all the life grit we go through ants on one and one. Then we finally realize ourselves as the pearl. Yeah, awesome. Beautiful analogy. Okay, so let us steer back onto the channeling track. So yeah, we were talking about souls coming in to heal, and souls who have resolved their stuff or just simply don't want to continue with the process leaving. Because like not everyone who is here incarnate right now will go or even want to go to the so-called new Earth, into the next chapter of Earth's history. And the people or beings who don't want to go there will basically have to exit this reality because they're becoming incompatible with what's happening, and especially where we're going right now. That is also why I think I talked about this many times. For example, many of us have taken on undesirable habits or patterns that we're not very much proud of. Some of them are more stronger and more evident, and some of them are like very subtle. And even these subtle, like bad habits or interfering thoughts that are like not very high vibrational, like they were kind of acceptable and functional maybe like 10 or 20 years ago. So even though you were like on a path of becoming more healed and more spiritual and more awakened, you could retain those like mini dysfunctional behaviors and patterns and still make it work. Because like we were in a phase collectively where it was okay to still function sort of in that way. But now as we're moving forward, I'm sensing it on myself that there were these maybe just thoughts or maybe a feeling towards someone or something that now they come up again, and now they're like super distracting. Almost like I can feel like this is like really bad. Like I should do something about this. Like 10 years ago, I wouldn't even like given a thought about it. But now as we're changing and I'm also changing, I feel like this is not okay. Like this has to go. Like I can't take this thing with me. And I think like that's very similar for many of us. And yeah, like there are some, I also think one of you have, yeah, I know, like the one of you who have recommended this topic also mentioned letting go of smoking, the habit of smoking. And yeah, like some habits, undesirable habits can be more evident in others, but also like that can be a part of this as well, that, hey, maybe I had like a very detrimental habit and now I really need to let go of that. And if you're in that phase, then you're super lucky, because now we're in an alignment and an energy flux when like it's a super great opportunity to work on yourself. It's an awesome time to be alive and resolve all the issues that you've been carrying with yourself for God knows how long. So now is a great time to do it, to like actively take a step each day towards the goal that you want to obtain. And if your intent is strong and you actually put action into it, you are proactive and basically do something each day, regardless how small it is. Like do it each day, and you will see that you will get some very exciting results. Because like everything is so sped up, and like the energies that are flowing through the earth are acting as a mega catalyst to what is happening transformation wise. So if you put your mind to it, you can achieve great amounts of change very rapidly. You just actually have to do it and trust the process. Hello, Bianchi. Thank you for joining. Yes, Julie, time to break unhealthy patterns. Yep. Yeah, like the crazy thing about like unhealthy patterns is that it's not necessarily just our own, because we've taken on that crap as well. So also, of course, it could be like maybe your family had it or something, or because of your peers, maybe you took on smoking or drinking or whatever. But if you do some digging on yourself and also maybe in your family and energetically, then you will find that if you go back, that there have been some kind of issues in the family, that because of this is how it manifested. Like this is how it came through and became into being. And basically because they didn't manage to resolve that issue, you took on it, and it's now your time. It's your time to shine and let it go. Hey, it's higher vibrations. I love you so much. I go live in 45 minutes. Going to slow this morning. Okay, so when we're finished, you can tap into higher vibrations, channeling and bringing through some awesome information. Okay, so I'm also sending many hearts to everyone. Okay, so let's go back to the topic. Yes. So basically, we're here to manifest our desired timelines, and that is great. And like many teachers are talking about it, but how can we actually manifest that? Like that's the great question here that many of us are unaware of, like how it works. But yeah, I will also bring through information from my guides, and let's see what they have to say about it. So basically the first step in like transforming your reality is first identifying what you do not prefer to have in your life. Like most of us throughout our lives have went through an autopilot. Like we've been just going with the stuff that came up, not really thinking about like what we are doing, what kind of consequences will they have, or the thoughts that we have, the patterns that we manifest, like what kind of effect will they have in our lives. So basically now it is the time to be super mindful. Also highly recommend researching the whole movement or idea of mindfulness, of being present within your body, within your mind, being very much aware what type of how do you behave in different types of situations. Like for example, if you're in difficult situations or you're with a person that you don't prefer to be with, or they are triggering you, they're challenging you in whatever shape or form, and just simply first off recognize that, hey, like I'm in an uncomfortable situation, and after that observe yourself. And also by that you can reach a more calm state. Just observe yourself, like how am I reacting in this undesired state? Like what types of feelings, what does it bring up from me, from my depths of my soul? How does it make me feel? And basically, how do I react to these types of interactions? And as you do so, you will start to learn to know yourself a lot better. And as you're starting to bring forth these undesired patterns, let's say, yeah, like undesired patterns within yourself, then basically you will be able to work with them. Because if like dysfunctional beliefs are like lurking and circulating in our subconscious, somewhere here in the back of our minds, where it's like super unaware, then basically we can't really do much about it. But we are still under their effect, so their existence still influences us in our daily decision making, on how we interact with different people. So this is why it is so important to bring it forth, to visualize them, to see them, to feel them. Like, who are they, or what are these belief systems that I have? And like then you can actually have the opportunity to work with them. So I also highly recommend, it just came through, that you can also like take out a paper and pen, or just any type of device that you're able to take notes on or write something down. You can totally do that for 10 seconds. I will have a sip of water until then. Yes, Mooncrest, that's awesome. This is the era of breaking away from victim consciousness and stepping into empowerment consciousness. Yes, like that is why we are here, and that is what we're doing. Okay, so I hope everyone has taken out something to write on. If not, that's perfectly cool. Okay, so now you have the opportunity to write down at least three things that you're not enjoying about your life at this current moment. Maybe today or in general. Three, yes, I am having difficulty with the three number. Three things that you're not enjoying about your life. Maybe where you live, your relationships, your job, your relationship with your body. All right. And now that you have clarified these three things for yourself, Now you have the task to work on it in the coming days, on making the situation better, transmuting it however you can. Okay, so after you have clarified for yourself, like what are the things that you don't desire about your life, or it is something that is no longer in alignment with who you are, then now you have the opportunity to transform them. And some of them can be greater, some of them can be smaller. For these exercises, it is also recommended to maybe start with something more tangible and smaller that you can like overcome in a shorter period, not something random, maybe like a huge family situation that may not necessarily end during this incarnation. It's something smaller that you can get, I wouldn't say rid of, but at least like transform in a positive way. After you have done so, I will highly recommend checking out last week's live event about the Violet Flame meditation that we have done together last week. And during that state, when you're in that meditative state of the Violet Flame, first anchor the Violet Flame, do clearing, let it flow through you, embody the Violet Flame, repeat multiple times, I am a being of the Violet Flame, or I am of the Violet Flame, and feel and visualize yourself of actually being the Violet Flame itself. And in that sacred state, in that aligned state, of course, ask for guidance and assistance with all of this. It really helps. In that aligned state, basically verbalize and feel inside of yourselves like maybe one of these issues that are like very pressing at this time, because each day, each moment, a specific pattern may come up to the forefront because like that is the time that is best to deal with it. For example, if you had like a relationship issue with someone and it has been on the back burner for quite some time, and for some reason they pop up again to push your buttons or something, then that means that the universe is saying that now is a great time to deal with this. So in that sacred state, being aligned with the Violet Flame, then basically bring forth that specific issue or something that you want to transform. And it usually helps to be embodied by someone or something, maybe a place, a person, or a group of people, and see them in front of you in the Violet Flame. And when you're doing this, like visualize it in a way that everything is the Violet Flame around you. It is circulating around you everywhere where you can see. And you are together in that Violet Flame sacred space, which will assist you in bringing healing, which will assist you in releasing the patterns that you have together. And in some cases, this can also be yourself. You can like visualize in front of yourself the dysfunctional you that you want to change. And that is awesome as well. It can be a strong and powerful manifestation. So as you do that, as you have visualized this specific symbol, maybe that be a person or yourself, like whatever it needs to be, focus on that symbol and basically being the Violet Flame, ask for healing, ask for guidance, ask for release from that situation. And basically if feelings regarding that specific symbol, person, or pattern, whatever it may be, needs to come up, then let it come up, let it come out, and let it be consumed by the Violet Flame. Let it be transformed into something much lighter, so you can actually, maybe for the first time, let it go and just let it flow out into the Violet Flame and be dissolved into the light of light. Or basically, you can phrase it however you want it. It is completely up to you. It is your manifestation. I'm just giving ideas right now. Okay. So, Alex, for the body function finds dysfunction and that being informed oneself is in peace. I breathe. Okay. Yes. Okay. So as you're doing this Violet Flame transmutation, if you're not familiar with the Hawaii prayer, Ho'oponopono, I can't really put that in the chat box right now, It is awesome, like find the mantra, which is basically super simple. There are like 4 sentences that you can use for this type of manifestation. It doesn't necessarily have to be the with the violet flame, but you can do this type of meditation that you're sitting with someone in front of you. May that be actually there physically, or just you bringing them there energetically for healing. But you can do it with a specific person, saying the words that I am sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. And basically, I hope I said it correctly and the proper order, but you should definitely research the Ho'oponopono Hawaii prayer. It is an awesome manifestational tool as well. And you can use that mantra to keep yourself in focus and actually manifesting what you want to manifest in that transmutation. Okay, so let's see what else comes through regarding the transformation. So yeah, we basically addressed on like how to find something that is not functioning and you don't desire to have. And now you have received some tools and ideas like how can you actively transform it. And the other one, for example, maybe when you have like undesired thoughts or habits. For example, I will use my own experience in this. Like there are certain situations that have triggered me in the past. And also we have these like super limiting belief systems regarding ourselves, of course, that are, for example, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of being loved, I cannot do this, I can never achieve this, and so forth. I think it goes on forever. Yeah, like I'm ugly, I hate myself, and so forth. I think all of us had that in our lives to a certain extent, at least some of them. So yeah, they may not necessarily come forth in this like super clear and pronounced way, but in certain situations, whenever you like, maybe you want to do something or you want to achieve something or you want to, I know, like achieve a better state of health or something, and you're like blocking yourself from it. Like that's a way it comes up, that belief system comes up, because you're basically sabotaging yourself from being in a more aligned state. So that is the creepy way as these negative belief system can come up. They, I know, like they assist us in sabotaging ourselves, basically. So whenever you feel that you're sabotaging yourselves, or like thoughts are coming into your mind that, hey, like I'm not good enough, I will never be able to achieve this, or I am not worthy of healing, I'm not worthy of being happy. Whenever these thoughts and unpleasant emotions come up in your being, then basically just stop. Like this is where mindfulness comes in again, super important. Just stop and like, okay, like I do no longer want to represent that energy. That is something I no longer want to have in myself. Like I had enough of that. And the visualizations that I used regarding this, I'm not sure, I bet like many of you are familiar with Harry Potter. And there is this, I think it's in the 5th or 6th episode, that you can like, there is a type of spell that removes memories from your mind. And basically, I think like Dumbledore used it to like remove unpleasant memories from his mind. And it's basically, you can like pinch that little thought that's in your mind and like, as like a string of light, just pull it out from your mind and like, okay, like I don't want you anymore. Like I don't need you anymore in my mind. You can also throw it into the violet flame and transmute it, or it is absolutely, it's not necessarily important, but it is advised to like transform it to something much lighter, so it won't come back, or it will no longer affect you or anyone else. But I'm not sure that it's like super important. But yeah, like be mindful, be present, especially in those situations when you're like sabotaging yourself, and like catch that limiting belief system in action. Like, what do I have to believe about myself to be true in order to manifest this unpleasant situation? Or like, what do I believe to be true that makes me sabotage my well-being? And basically, your guides, your higher self will give you a very plain answer for it, if you're ready to listen and accept the wisdom that comes through, basically. So this is the other way that you can like maintain a healthy mental hygiene as well. Also, like not exposing yourself to certain situations, like beings, like media, whatever type of material that is like low vibrational. Like you don't have to be this like I don't know, like a hermit or something, to like completely isolate yourself from everything, the harsh reality of the world. Like that doesn't, I mean, it did work for some people, but we don't live in a world where it is very much advised to do that. And especially if you're listening to this, then in my humble opinion, like most of us are here to create a more holistic way of living, being spiritual, being aware, but at the same time, like living in a day-to-day reality, like having families, going to the mall for shopping, and like having a day job. So it is time to actually integrate that higher wisdom into our day-to-day reality and to basically embody that high vibrational state and being in our everyday situations, and like set an example that, hey, like you can live differently, like you can actually have a decent life. You can actually enjoy being yourself and enjoying life in general. Yes, I see that Jenny has just posted in the chat the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Yes, it is super important and awesome. Highly recommend for trying out to everyone. It is super simple. And you can do it whenever you like. It doesn't have to be a super deep meditation to do it. Okay. So yeah, like I was talking about like not exposing yourself to things that like throw you back into that dysfunctional pattern. Or simply, yeah, like we are super good, as High Vibration said, like energy and light detectors. So when things are coming into your life that make you feel in a not so good way, like you feel insecure, like agitated, suppressed, or stressed out, then that means that that specific thing is probably not the best thing to be around. Now, in certain cases, it may be there to trigger a specific healing and evolution inside of you, because we have to like stretch our muscles and do the heavy lifting work in order to evolve and to become more than who we are. But it doesn't mean that you have to be like exposed to that like toxic thing on a daily basis, because that's not healthy either. So also like identify those specific elements in your life that you like occasionally or on a day-to-day basis expose yourself to, because they can also be something that can like throw you back energetically in this whole process. And also at the same time identify the things that are elevating you in that process as well. Like what are the things that you enjoy to do? I remember, I think it was in a Metatron channeling, that basically like each thought that you have, like each action that you take in every second can do two things. Like it can lower or raise your vibration. So whenever like you're met with a specific situation or maybe an idea or activity, like ask yourself, like, will this raise my vibration or will this hinder my vibration? And some will probably be in the middle, no, more neutral. But it is up to us to like decide like what do we want to agree to and what do we want to say no to. Because that's also a super important thing that we have to learn, especially us empaths who are like very much like to like assist everyone and like be of service and like help people, but we have to do it in a very grounded way, in a very balanced way. Because if you like overexert yourself or like give too much of yourself, then you would just simply burn yourself out and you basically won't be of assistance to anyone in that burnt out state. So if you want to assist people and be of use and heal and whatever, how you can contribute to society or to humanity in general, you have to learn to do it in a balanced way in order to do it on the long run and not burn yourself out. Okay. So Silver Boho Soul. Will doing these under hypnosis work well? I'm not sure. That depends on like what type of hypnosis you may be doing. Also depends on the practitioner, like how do they work. Like I haven't done QHHD since the lockdowns, but before that I was a QHHD practitioner, and basically there we didn't really use mantras or anything. We just let like the higher self, or in that case the subconscious, lead the entire experience, and basically your higher self or subconscious brings up everything that you need to know and transform inside of yourself, and it is the thing that is assisting you through the process of healing. Okay. Okay, so we have talked about like how to identify things that you don't desire to have, and now how to identify things that you do desire to have in your life. And one of the most important things in this whole transformation and aligning yourself with a beneficial timeline is basically to very clearly state to yourself, like, what do you want to experience in your lifetime? How do you want to live your life? Like, what types of relationships you want to have? What does the home that you want to live in look like? What is your dream job like? How do you want to leave your mark in the world, basically? And this can be also not just this can be, this is one of the most important parts of this whole process. So if you still have your pen and paper or whatever electronic devices that you have taken notes on, then now would be an awesome time to use it once more and clarify for yourself. Like, if you can, 3, but at least 1, maybe a very strong something, whatever that may be, that you do want to manifest in your life. Maybe you want to be healthier, you want to have a more balanced work-life balance situation in your life, or you want to be in a healthy relationship, or you want to live in a better place, or whatever it may be. It could be one or multiple things. Now would be a very good time to like verbalize it or write it down, so it is something tangible, it is something clear to you what that is. And as all of you are doing that, I will also add that during the meditation, when you're transforming the things that you don't desire to have in your life, after you have transformed them, then basically replace that with something that you do prefer to have. This could be, I will take the example of maybe yourself, that you're transmuting the old you, or an aspect of you that you don't desire to have. And now that you have transformed it into violet flame, now see it manifested and hone in the vibration of the ideal you, the healed you, the you that you always wanted to be, and you know that you can be. So see that in front of yourself. Like, feel it, like, how would that be? Like, how does it feel like to be the healed me, to be the full embodiment of my higher self? What kind of life would I have? Like, what kind of family would I have? What kind of relationships, friends, workplace, whatever name you, would I have in that ideal situation? Yes, Julie, from fragmented to wholeness. Yes. We are super fragmented. Yes, like how would the aligned and integrated you would look like? What would it feel like? Yes, like how would that feel like? And as you're healing through the process, then basically you are shifting your timelines and moving out of an undesired timeline, as some people call it, the matrix or whatever. So, in short, that is the practice that you can do on a daily basis. Also, for example, if you want, maybe in the case of like you want a more healed you or a more transformed you, or it works with whatever other types of topics as well, is to like, okay, like now I clarify to myself, what do I want to have? Who do I want to be? Now, basically, you can like break it down into different steps. Like, what are the steps that I can take towards that goal? And like each day do something towards that goal, regardless how small it would be. The most important thing is to be consistent with it, to do it each day, to have the passion and like the drive to actually succeed in that. And you will find that it will build up and be stronger. You will be able to transform your reality. And I know like many of you are already doing it, like even if you're not aware of it, but just by like having the willingness to change and like be aware of who you are and like face the undesired parts of yourself, of your life, like that is also the first and the huge step towards transforming your reality. So if you're on that path, that is super awesome. And I hope I could help with that. I was able to assist you in that right now. Yes, Silver Boho. Yes, healing yourself will heal the collective also. Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, like that is why we are here. We have taken on specific tasks, specific challenges, and by transforming them within ourselves, we're also assisting the transformation of other situations as well. We're healing our lineage, we're healing our tribe, or however we want to call it. We're healing the collective karma of maybe our nation or continent, and of course the entire world, because we're all interconnected in this whole web of things, and what we do affects everyone else, and what they do affects us as well. Yes, Jacaranda Marie, repetition creates new habits. It gets easier. Yes. Yeah, like so we have created many dysfunctional patterns in our lives by repeating them on a day-to-day basis. So now it is time to take them in a conscious way and repeat the things that are actually beneficial. So we can create a positive and conscious, so we can create in a conscious and positive way. Like that's what my guys like always tell us, that we don't have to learn how to manifest. Like we've been already doing it. Like that's why we're here. That's why we have the things that we have in our lives and on planet Earth, because we are creator beings. We can manifest. The only thing that we have to learn and master in this lifetime is to manifest in a conscious way, so we can actually manifest the things that we want to have in our lives. Because if we don't manifest in a conscious way in this reality, then all those undesired subconscious negative belief systems will come to the forefront, and those are the things that we will manifest. So, and none of us really want that. We've been like exploring that for God knows how long. And now it is the time to create something that we actually desire to have. Okay, so now it is the time to go into the QA section. Thank you for sending in your questions. Also, if you have any types of questions right now regarding this topic or whatever you may want to ask from my Syrian guides, then please do so in the chat box with the question mark in front or at the end so I can identify it. And in the meantime, we will go through the questions that were posted in the community section. Okay, so I started drawing the symbol that you use for this channel about a month ago. I've been drawing it in the sand a lot and at the beach. What does it mean? Or did you just make it up? Yeah, like I did first, I thought I just made that up, and actually it seems that it's a thing. So first up, I think it was in 2013 that I was just playing around with like drawing symbols. I didn't have like a very clear intent on like what I wanted to achieve. I was just playing around with geometric shapes. And I really liked the circle and triangle in the middle and outside as well. And I was just curious like what happens if I flip it and put one triangle into another and just like create this like portal type of thing that just goes to infinite in words. And I flipped two triangles and I was like, wow, like that looks really good. So that was the first time that I like created that symbol. And after that, I think like one of my co-workers and friends like recommended Dark Crystal. He also enjoys very much 80s movies, and that's like I think like a puppet movie or something. But anyways, like in that movie, there is that symbol in the movie. So when I saw the movie that my channel symbol was in this 80s movies on the cape of like an elderly being or something, some kind of wise elder or something, I was like, holy crap, like how is that even possible? Like I swear I never saw that movie before that, or I never even seen the symbol. And I haven't really done like much research on it, but as far as I know, it's like called the conjunction of spheres or something. And also in like that movie, like there's a type of an alignment which ends an old phase in their reality, in their planet basically. And as this alignment happens, of this like conjunction of spheres, they step into a new age basically. So I guess like this is something that is symbolized as this like convergence of different worlds and timelines coming together to enter into a new reality. But that's just my take on it. Okay, and another question. Do you have any information on Antarctica from your Syrian guides? So let's see what happens there. Well, not really. Not much. Okay, there are a lot of stuff there as far as I know, but they are not very talkative regarding that. I think we will know more about it in like the coming years because there has been like gradual disclosure regarding that topic. So they always said that we were entering the age of total transparency. So hopefully during our lifetime we will know more about it. But what I am more curious about are like actually the archaeological stuff regarding Antarctica. Because like as far as I know, it was like part of Atlantis and being covered with I don't know, like a kilometer thick ice is like a great way to preserve things. So I bet there are like many amazing things on there. So I would love to know more about those stuff. I see we have some questions in the chat. Enrique, I have an implant after my abduction. It's like three perfect triangle-shaped dots. It's what called me to this channel. Oh, okay. And then my Syrian family communicated through you. It's how I landed here. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. I don't think that the beings that I work with will like mark your body. Like that's not how we function. Okay. And there is Divine Warrior 1111. I have not been able to remember my dreams for years and years, and I know I shut them off myself when I was young because of them being horrifying. How do I turn them back on? Okay. Yeah, like we experience many psychic attacks throughout our lives. And I also enjoy the nights when I don't, at least don't remember anything. When I have like this blank sleep of just going to sleep and just waking up refreshed in the morning. That's amazing. I love that. I know like many people are like, how can you have these amazing, crazy experiences during the night? And I just want to sleep. Like, for so many years, I just want to sleep. But yeah, like thank God in the past 2 years, I was able to sleep quite a bit. But yeah, like in general, yeah, like you did like an agreement with yourself, with your guides and higher self that you don't want to experience that, or at least like not remember them, so they don't distract you in this in your waking state. So you can maybe do a meditation or write a contract with yourself about this whole thing of like what is the how do you want to experience your dreams, like what is okay, what is not okay, what do you want to remember, what you don't want to remember. And basically before going to bed, like do the protections that I think we did like 3 weeks ago. We talked about psychic protection, but in general, just research psychic or energy protection. Do it before going to sleep and basically set an intent for yourself. If there is anything valid or important to my soul's journey here, or this physical reality here that I could or should remember, then I want to remember it now and this night, or even further on as well. And basically, the more you work on yourself, like if you do the things that we talked about even today, of like being proactive and clearing and healing yourself each day, then basically you're letting go of all that baggage that can attract such unpleasant experiences. Because like those experiences can come in because like there is something that they can attach themselves to you. Like maybe you have, just as we're talking about habits or something that you're struggling with, and like those experiences or some cases beings are like attracted to that specific energy. And if you work on that specific pattern, if you heal that thing, then basically there's nothing there for them. That's the best way of like getting rid of those things, is actually healing yourself and becoming more aligned, because then they don't have what to latch onto. It would be this like you will be like vibrating higher than they do. That is the ultimate goal for us here on planet Earth. And all of us are on that path, even me. Okay, but what you can do on a day-to-day basis is clearing and protecting your energy. Like that's something that you can do today. Okay, Cool Deep. Hello, Cool Deep. How are you doing? It's great to have you. The other day in the meditation, I heard the rainbow bridge is complete. What does that mean? Can you talk about that? Yes, like what I'm getting is like what we've been talking about, the merging of realities is like complete, like we're bridging, and we are to a certain extent already in New Earth, the new planet Earth, as we talk about it and was prophesied. But like still we can experience to a certain extent the old stuff, because like we're in this in-between phase of we're 1 foot there because we're on that timeline and we have manifested that for ourselves collectively, but we're like 1 foot at the other Earth, like the old stuff, because we haven't worked through everything in order to like fully move. I'm not sure like which side I used prior, but to fully move into the new Earth. So we still have stuff to let go of, and that is why some certain aspects of the old Earth are still present, because like they are there to remind us that, hey, like there is still something in you, or just like collectively, that you still need to let go of, or you have to resolve this issue, or you have to decide like how do you want to continue further with this. Like, do you want this to continue, or you want to leave it behind? And now is the time that we're collectively like sorting through stuff. That is why so many like difficult and challenging situations may come up, personally or collectively, or like topics that were like very scary, or something that we were like collectively deliberately avoiding because like it's unpleasant, like they are now coming into your face, because now it is time to decide like what do we want to do about this. Like we can no longer leave it in the dark and just be there and try to pretend that it doesn't exist. Like that will no longer work where we're going. Like we need to decide like what type of world we want to live in. Okay, so Sarah, can you be attacked in your deep sleep and interpreted as being bad, but in reality your vibration is just not as strong as the message being delivered? I'm not sure if I understood that correctly, but yes, like I also experienced many times that like you have your mundane dream of like weird abstract stuff happening. Your like subconscious is like venting events and like processing what happened that day, and all of a sudden just like everything takes like a 180, and just like it's almost like someone from the outside like taking control of your dream or something, and you can like feel that like sudden shift of like something shifted in the background, like, and I'm no longer in my dream state. It's like I like in a couple of seconds just transition to a different state or like a different place. I also feel it like everything, it just suddenly just goes darker and becomes, I don't know, like I feel like locked in or confined to a space type of experience. I haven't had it for quite some time, and for some people I know it can be very scary, but what you can do is the Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Sabaoth mantra. Like repeat that during the day, get used to it, have it in the back burner in your mind, and basically whenever like these two situations come up, then your subconscious will just like kick it in and it will start running. And as you repeat the mantra Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Sabaoth, it basically calls in your light team, it calls in the cavalry, and basically just like solves the entire situation and throws you back into your body, and you wake up nice and simple. But yeah, like doing psychic protection before going to bed is something that really helps with this. It definitely has the potential of filtering out these things. Okay, so we have sovereign being. How do you uncreate undesired circumstances and effect of self-sabotage, and can you have your guides prevent that from manifesting in the future if you're not having a good day? Yeah, like our guides cannot prevent us from doing and self-sabotaging ourselves. Yeah, I mean, they can help with the clearing and healing process, but they will like not prevent us doing anything or thinking anything. They are our support team, but they are not here to babysit us. So, but yeah, like yes, like how to negate the self-sabotage effect. Yeah, in my experience and opinion, like being mindful and like being super present when you have these negative belief systems about yourself, when they come into effect, when you're sabotaging yourself, catching yourself in the act is the best way, in my opinion, to deal with this. Because like each time that you like stop and say like, okay, like I'm not going further down this route. For example, I don't know, like you have a very bad day and you look in the mirror and okay, like I really hate how I look, or I hate my face or something about my body, and you just like go on, and like even not in a very conscious way, but it's like that thought pattern is like circulating in your subconscious, and you just like feel that you're like going down into a very undesired place energetically, and also like your mood is shifting because they are constantly like repeating that pattern of like, okay, like I hate myself, like I'm not good, like I'm not good enough, and those stuff that can like really poison your energy and also your physical body as well. Because what emotions we have like affect our physical body too. And yeah, like catch yourself at the beginning when this happens, and like don't let yourself like go deeper into that thing. Like, okay, stop. Like, I had enough of this. Like, I no longer want to have this in my life. And like, yeah, I just said this visualization of like, I know, like getting it from your mind and like pulling it out like a string of light and like let it go. Like, okay, like pulling weed from a garden, basically. The weeds will still come back, but the more you clean and the more thorough you are, then they will just simply die off after a time. And it's similar with these patterns too. The more vigilant you are with it and the more you clear it from yourself, they will just simply won't come back after a time. It may take some time, but you have to be patient with yourself. You have invested quite a few years in developing those beliefs, but now you have the opportunity to get rid of them much more quickly. But it will still take some time. Okay, Silver Boho Soul. It's almost 5 p.m. there. A.m., sorry. Okay, there is a talk of space arcs crafts underground and that are being activated. I just listened to Mary Rodwell talking about it. Do your guides have any info about that? Okay, let's see. Yeah, like I've seen something of like ancient spaceship stuff, like being, yeah, like if anyone is like familiar with the Emerald Tablets, like that also is talking about an ancient Atlantean spaceship that was like the Ark during the time of the Cataclysm that is still present on Earth. So, and now it is the time that we're stepping into the new age when it can come to the forefront and like be present in the collective consciousness of Earth. So very exciting times. I'm like super interested about like everything like Atlantean and our ancient civilizations and history. So I'm super excited about all the things that will come out in the near future and probably during my lifetime, regarding about our true history, like who we are. And probably these things are just like a stepping stone in that. And also like all the ET craft that appear in the sky, like and now it's actually in the news, are there to like wake up gently the normal people that, hey, like this is actually happening. Like it's not weird to believe in UFOs. Although I think they called them like unidentified aerial phenomenon. For some reason, they changed the definition. Okay, thank you. I believe there are no more questions. Okay. I hope I managed to answer or at least satisfy your curiosity regarding certain topics. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining the live event, for sticking around for so long. And I'm also sending much love to everyone who is watching the replay and made it so far. You are amazing. Thank you for devoting so much of your time to this type of information and interaction. I'm happy that you've been here. I'm sending all of you much love and look forward for our next event being on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend and see you all next